the client experience is just so next level important. You go into a store, you buy a product, and the product fails or something happens. When you call back, you don't arguing about it's not. You want to, we'll make it right. So email us a photo, we'll figure it out, we'll make it right. That's what a client, that's what a customer, a client wants. I paid this money. It was hard to earn. I want my couch. And I paid for a full couch, and you told me in 6 months I'd get the ottoman. It's been a year. Where's my fucking ottoman? You know what, sir? We're going to refund you for the whole thing. You can keep the couch or return it. Had that experience at Nebraska Furniture Mart. And it was refreshing. But I've even noticed a dip there because they're having a hard time on the back end with personnel. Like you buy something, you drive down, they load your vehicle up.
I waited 4 hours at Nebraska for a couch.
Under the...
Yeah.
4 hours?
4 hours we waited for this.
Bro.
It was crazy. Lucky I had a friend there and we caught up, but we waited 4 hours and everybody was waiting. But I don't know I think they also messed up our order because we saw people come and go, but also the thing we had ordered apparently was right at the back, so they were doing everybody else, you know. But it was because they were short on staff. That's
the thing, yeah. And it's crazy because you got great sales folks. They're super helpful. They're obviously making a little cut on every little commission. Then on the back end, when the order goes to get filled, then you leave and you have a bad taste in your mouth. And that's really the complexity of running a business, right? But we can come out of the gates as strong as possible. But if we stumble in the middle and don't make it right, you're not going to go away from that going, that was a peerless experience. That was an experience I'm going to tell my neighbors about before they even ask me, do you know someone who can build me a deck? And that's the challenge. And that can't always just be a top-down thing, can it? It can't just be the owner going, do better, right? There's got to be systems and processes put in place where everyone's got an attention to detail. And if you don't own the company, why would you have an attention to detail other than possibly making more money? Is that also something that ties to culture where, hey, we all go the extra mile because we know that it is actually going to do better for us economically if we do?
Well, what affects culture probably the most with employment is that 67% of people are on jobs they don't want to be on. So that comes down to something called job fit. Job fit has a huge part to play in a culture of a company. You know, somebody who wants to be at a company will outperform somebody a minimum of 2 to 1. So they'll do double the production, somebody who doesn't want to be there. And they've even found, regardless of the skills. Here's the challenge. It becomes a hiring thing. If you get somebody's resume, based on the resume, we bring them for an interview. That's called the interview process of bringing somebody in. You've got a 14% chance of hiring the right person. In other words, out of 7 people you hire, 1 is right, 6 are wrong. That's a job fit thing. And that's then what we'll do is when we hire the wrong person, we watch them over time. And in, say, 8 months comes along, we realize, okay, this is the wrong person. It has a huge impact on productivity, has a huge impact on culture of the business. Because if you surround top performers by somebody who doesn't perform, it intrinsically demotivates them. So it's a huge problem. So hiring the wrong people, like I say, using a resume and bring them for an interview, you got the 14% chance of hiring the right person.
That's a nasty number, man. That's a very discouraging number.
That's the reality.
So how do you fix that?
With assessments. So you can assess somebody. You can do that in real time where you're watching somebody over time, or you can do it scientifically where you're using a productivity tool or an assessment tool called a job fit tool. And that can increase it to 75%. In other words, out of 4 people you hire, 3 are right, 1 is wrong. You'll never have, just because the human dynamic is exactly that, ever changing. But, I'm not a betting man, but 75% compared to 14% is a big difference, you know?
Hell of a difference. On those, that's like a personality type test where they're
more
taking
behavior.
KPIs.
So core behavior. Because personality and behavior are slightly different. So
people don't go on those and just fill in the bubbles to tell you what you want to hear so they can get the job?
That's why you've got to use the right tools. So there's 1,400 different assessments on the market. Only 21 of them are what you call predictive index. So that's the tool you've got to use. They're actually predicting something. And that's why I say that's the difference between behavior and personality. Because if you look at personality, it's basically what they call a self-report. If you tell me you're the greatest thing since sliced bread, then you're the greatest thing since sliced bread because that's what you believe. Whereas a normative assessment, which is predicting, is called predictive index, is actually predicting compared to something else. And that's something you can benchmark. I can literally go into an organization, let's say there's 10 people, let's say 3 out of them are top performers. We can measure them, create a benchmark, and hire according to that. It's kind of like human cloning. You can clone that top performer because they have similar traits that the job requires.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I think the challenge now is just getting the people to take that test. Because you get 15, 20 applicants. Of those, you can split that right in half.
Yeah.
10 of those will ghost you. And then you can split that in half again where the interview is so bad you don't give a damn what that predictor assessment says.
Well, and you're 100% right, but that alone becomes a pre-qualifier for getting onto the job. Do you know, this is what they found. You look at the most successful companies in the world. I'll give you one that's very well known for hiring. It's Unilever. If you look to get a job at Unilever, you have to jump through so many hoops that because there's so many hoops to jump through, they lose people on the way. But who do you think the people are that they lose? People that don't fit the job.
Flakes, yeah.
So, you know, the harder it is to get in somewhere, the greater the barrier to entry, the better the industry normally is. You know, and I mean, you just look at that. There's 5 hated professions that they do a survey on every year. What do you think the 5 most hated jobs in America are?
Hated jobs? Oh, hated professions? Oh, man. I don't think that... garbage man?
Okay, no. They don't hit the list.
Teacher?
No.
Preacher?
No.
Hitman? I don't know. 5?
You ready?
Yeah.
Lawyers?
Okay.
Timeshare stroke network marketing, they fall under the same category.
Okay.
Insurance salespeople, car salespeople, real estate. Those are the 5 most hated professions from the customer's point of view.
Oh, I got you.
Okay.
I got you. Not the
not
people
from
doing the
performing,
job.
no.
Sorry.
So in other words,
I'm like, lawyers hate being lawyers? Because I know a lot of lawyers.
They hate it because of their profession.
They fucking love that everyone hates them.
They bottom of the list probably every year. But in 2009, I think it was realtors hit the bottom of the list because of the crash. When ironically, it should have been the lenders because the lenders are the ones that got us into the trouble.
Seriously.
But the point is this, is that the lower barrier to entry you have, the easier it is to get in. You draw people that aren't very good, you know. But those are the industries where you can make a difference. You look in the roofing industry, for example. In the roofing industry, I mean, is it difficult to become a roofer?
No.
It's pretty easy, right?
Correct.
So are there a lot of cowboys in the industry?
Just a few.
Okay. So there's a lot of people that's probably not good in the industry. A lot of fly-by-nights, a lot of people, scam artists, a lot of people trying to take you, you know, and take your money. So what they found was the insurance industry just did this a couple of years ago where it was easy to become an insurance agent. Now they make it difficult. Now the level of insurance agent is a lot better now. So they're probably going to be off the list very soon as hated profession, because now when you deal with somebody, it's not just somebody just trying to hook you for the money. So that's what I believe. The point is this, going back to the Unilever example, you know, the greater the barrier to entry, the more you it's a sifting process of getting, you know, what's actually good for the business. So I think that's very important.